And hello, Happy New Year. So we are back. And this is the time of year where we set New Year's resolutions. And the statistics are is that 80% of people who set New Year's resolutions don't follow through on them. So I have 3 tips for you today to make sure that your resolutions are going to stick with you and you will reach your goals. So welcome. And it is the start of the new year, start of the work week, and we are back live and so excited to be back. It seems like it's been quite a while, so I had a great holiday, but we're ready to rock for 2020. So if you're joining me live, please say hello, tell me where you're coming from this beautiful planet, and if you're on the replay, then let me know that too. And if we haven't met before, my name is Dodd, and I'm here to inspire, encourage, train, to bring your business online so that you can use the power of social media to grow your business and succeed in what you want to do. So let's get into it. New Year's resolutions. So what is a resolution? It's a promise into the future. So it's a change that we want to make into the future. So making the promise is really easy, right? Oh yes, what's your New Year's resolution? You have a chat and this is what I'm going to do. But following through is actually harder. So how do we make that stick? How are we going to do that? And it's not so much about the goal, but who you are going to become. So the first tip is changing your mentality around it. And so that starts with your vocabulary. So if you change the word resolution to revolution, how does that change it in your mind? So what does the word revolution, what kind of images does that bring up? I think of civil wars and things like that, struggles. And so what we need to do is to have that same kind of aspect, thought process, is that we're going to overthrow our old habits, our bad habits. We're going to overthrow our mind. And so make a radical change into your identity. So, fight for this resolution, like actually really fight for it. Not to say, oh yeah, I'm going to do this and somehow, hopefully, it's just going to happen on its own. But actually to get in there, get involved and fight for it. So that's a huge difference. And so the second part of that is changing your identity around it. So who are you going to become? And it's so powerful. Like, for example, if you, I've never been a smoker, but this is a really powerful one. So if you say to someone, over coffee or something like that, well, I'm going to quit smoking. So, that's something that you're going to do, as opposed to saying, now, I am not a smoker. So you used to be a smoker and now you say, I'm not a smoker anymore, so I just don't do that. As opposed to, I'm going to quit. So that implies, in your mind that, well, I'm really trying, but whether I succeed or not, we're going to see. I'm going to try and quit smoking, as opposed to, I am not a smoker anymore and that's it. It's done kind of thing. I am changed. So that's changing your identity. And so, that second statement is so much more powerful than the first. So make it I am. So I am a thin person. So I don't eat those fatty fried foods and that kind of thing. And so that's going to help make that change. It's so much more powerful. And then the third tip is the accountability. If we don't have any accountability, then we can just let it slide. For example, it's been, kind of 2 weeks of holidays. And so it's really hard to get into that momentum again this morning, get into the roll, and it's snowing out again. And, we've been shoveling snow and all that kind of thing. And so it's so easy to let excuses come into it. But remember that revolution, we are fighting for that change. So we need some accountability, and a commitment. And, so I have committed that I am, going to be doing these things for my business. So I am guaranteed that I will do it because I have made that commitment. And so we need a couple of things to help with commitment. Two things to help with the accountability is a commitment device or method, or to make things easier. So for example, if you're doing lives, maybe set up your equipment, your tripod or whatever it is, have that set up so that it's easier to step into. Or if you're want to go jogging in the morning, then have your running shoes and all your clothing set up, so that you can just wake up and get going. Oh, good morning, Cindy. How are you? Great. Thanks for joining me. Great to see you. And so the second part of the accountability is the implementation intention. And so there's a couple of things that need to happen to make the intention come into play. And so you need to set a time, a place, a date, and a person. So all those things have to be set. So rather than just saying, okay, well, I'm going to do this, you have to have these things set in place. For example, when you meet someone in the street, or a friend you haven't seen for a long time, and you say to them, oh yeah, well, we have to meet for coffee sometime. And then, it's just kind of like a promise, in the sky kind of thing. And it never happens because you haven't set a time, a place, a date, and the person. So all those things have to be put into place. Another example of that would be there's a supplement cream that I have to take like once a week, and I haven't been really good about it, but I decided, okay, I'm going to do this. So I put a little note on my mirror saying that, okay, on this day, on Fridays, I am going to take this. And so I see that, and I remember that Fridays is the day that I take this supplement that I only need to take every once in a while. And so by having that schedule there, that date, and of course the place is there, having that schedule, then I know that, okay, I'm going to follow through on it until it becomes a habit, and then I can take the piece of paper away. So actually planning when you're going to do it, when and how, makes a huge difference. And that helps, if you have all four things, then you have an 80% chance of following through. Cindy says, I'm terrible about remembering. I need reminders. Yes, absolutely. Post-it notes. I love post-it notes. They are wonderful for having little reminders everywhere. Couldn't do without it, especially on the fridge if it's something, that's irregular. So those are the three key things, is changing your mentality. Make it not a resolution, but a revolution, so that it's a fight for a change, and change it to identity. So the I am statements, I am now this, and that accountability. And love post-it notes, absolutely. And so hold yourself to a higher standard, or have an accountability partner or a person that's going to hold you to a higher standard than you hold yourself. For example, I have a mentorship program that I am in right now, and so I have mentoring calls, and they hold me to a certain standard, and I better have done my to-do list for that month. And so then I think, okay, well, I better get it done because I have someone holding me to a higher standard. And so a coaching and mentorship program is someone that's wonderful, to change, have that accountability, and to make sure. Same thing with, I just took a video course, and we had weekly calls, and they would ask you, okay, what did you accomplish this week? And that had such a great effect, to make sure that just extra prompt to hold you accountable and to make you do it, thinking, okay, well, I want to be able to say that I did it on this call, right? So if that's something that you're interested in, is having some mentorship or some coaching, then, please let me know, and I would happy to help you out with that, because it does make such a difference. Maybe 2020 is the year that, that's in the cards for you to have some mentorship and accountability. And Cindy says, outside accountability is so important for success. Yes, because if it's up to just me alone and I don't have anyone to be accountable, it's so easy just to kind of, think, okay, well, this excuse, it's snowing this week, or I have something else came up and I'm just going to let it slide and I'll do it next week. Nope. We have to get it done and be accountable. So I hope that's been helpful to you, and welcome the brand new year, new century. And so let's get those resolutions, revolutions working for us. So I will see you again on Wednesday, and if you'd like to know when I'm going live, then hit the 3 dots at the top and set the notifications on to be notified when I go live. Until next time, have a wonderful day, whatever part of the day it is for you, and we will see you again. I'm not so keeping promises for myself. Absolutely, Cindy. Thank you for watching. I appreciate everybody that joins me, and join in the conversation and let me know what your resolutions are, revolutions, and how I might help you with that. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Cindy. Thank you, everybody, and bye for now.